Punisher Warzone. Shot in Montreal.
Yeah. That's cool.
I haven't seen it since I've been there, so I wonder if I'll recognize anything this time.
Lady director as well.
Lexi
Alexander.
Cool.
Yeah.
So she's great because if you've never listened to Had This Get Made with like Paul Scheer and June Diane Raphael and Jason Mantzoukas, they watched this movie with Lexi Alexander, and then they talk about it on their podcast, and she like just rips her own movie to pieces.
Oh,
so
that's
it's like
awesome.
I gain a lot of respect for her because she's like, yeah, this movie is terrible.
Would I know any of her other work going into this?
No.
The main one that she did was Green Street Hooligans with
I've heard of that.
Vinnie Jones. It's like a Cockney thug movie, street
Trying
gang
to capitalize on all that kind of like Snatch and Lock, Stock era.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, early to mid.
Yeah, she's actually gone on to do a couple more superhero type things. Anyway, she's directed an episode of Arrow. She directed an episode of Supergirl. She did Limitless. She's done like American Gothic and the Taken TV show as well. She's done a lot of very like
cool. Taken filmed here in the Village as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
The TV show.
The TV show.
Nice.
Yeah, the Spielberg one, right?
Nice. So
wow, this looks violent.
Yeah.
Looks cool. Should we kill that light off?
Do we want subtitles for this again, or what do we feel?
What do you think? We want to try it out?
I mean, like sometimes we talk over the dialogue.
Yeah, why not? But we might as well leave it the way it is. But put them on.
Let me see if I can get these up nice and quickly.
Cool.
There we go. All right.
I guess the costume's a little bit more believable, like you would wear it into a battle.
It's a bit more combat-esque, except he has this collar thing that you'll see.
Yeah, I see it here. It looks like a helmet should go over that or something.
Okay, so as always, on your Back Issues Adventures, we have Mel, Isaiah, Tim, myself, Bray, and special guest star Lawrence is in the background as well. Yay! All right, rock and roll. So we start off with Dirty Laundry. That's always that's a good introduction into the Punisher. Yeah.
I'm primed for Punisher.
Yeah. We went
punishment.
Yeah. A little bit of desensitization there.
Yeah. We kind of punished ourselves last week with Spider-Man, so
now it's their turn.
We're taking a step back. We're trying to do something a little bit more on the fun side. So yeah.
Who's this guy? This looks like the Arnold from Terminator 1 where he gets all in his face.
This is Dominic West plays Billy, or spoiler, Jigsaw. So yeah, it's I
doesn't
like
look like him.
Played by Prince Caspian in the Netflix show.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's where he started, Caspian.
Yeah. Ben Barnes.
Wow, I loved him in Westworld.
He's also in Westworld,
awesome in Westworld.
I actually enjoyed Punisher season 1.
Oh, I love Punisher, the TV series. I think this is going to be interesting because I feel like we've got a lot of different source material now, especially after seeing Dolph Lundgren's Punisher
Which was great. If you haven't seen that, tune back to the early days of Back Issues. That was, second episode or third?
Episode number 2.
Yeah.
The commentary track is hilarious because there's one point in time where everyone's just like, what?
It's surprisingly good. It's
a lot of fun.
If it hadn't have been followed right up by Ninja Turtles, people would probably still be talking. So
that's true. All right, so if you're watching at home, Punisher Warzone, got your DVD in. We're gonna be hitting play in 3, 2, playing movie.
Cool.
I bought this movie at a Blockbuster that was closing in California for like 10 cents.
Oh, awesome.
10 cents?
Yeah. So we'll definitely get our bang for our buck.
I bought like 6 movies for $1.50 or something like that. It was really ridiculous.
I regret not picking up some of their shelving.
And I was like,
those like stands that you just put the movies on flat.
Yeah. That was 10 American cents, so like 150 Canadian dollars.
This is Marvel Knights.
The only movie produced under that banner.
They did make those cartoons, like moving. Like, what do you call them?
In association
motion
with Marvel
comics?
Studios, because the movie came out the same year as Iron Man and
Whoa.
The Dark Knight.
Ouch.
Yeah. a little late to the party, even though this movie came out like February that year, I believe.
It was December 4th. This one came out.
After.
Yeah, so
I just remember it being winter.
Yeah, I grabbed some stats. I'll throw them up there later on. I feel like this movie just had poor timing with release date because we had Iron Man earlier, which was like May, and then this came out in December, and it did not do well. I don't think we even got a cinema release in Australia. I only remember this coming straight to DVD. I never remember seeing it in the cinemas at all. So
Julie Benz.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Dexter.
awesome. Yeah, from Dexter and Angel and Buffy.
It's also got Wayne Knight's in this too.
Really? Crazy. Skinny Wayne Knight, or is he still chunky Wayne Knight? Well, there he is. Speaking of,
I think he's a little chunky in this movie. He's not like a Jurassic Park level. He like has obviously lost a lot of weight, and good on you. Especially when you're like he's in his late 50s, I want to say at this point.
He still looks pretty good. I can't wait to see him. Huh? No?
Wait.
Okay. Forget it.
Sorry, that might have been was that a Jurassic Park reference?
Sorry, maybe it was too heavy for you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, you don't. That's okay.
Wait, as in WEIGHT, wait.
If you're listening at home, turn on your subtitle option, which I don't know, is that a thing? Do we have that?
We have the subtitles on.
we have the subtitles on.
Just because we do talk a lot.
Cool. Oh, thanks. Nuts.
One of the reasons we're making a podcast where we talk a lot.
What? No.
I mean, it's kind of the point. I feel like if it was just like, Galen heard it.
Wow.
People, just,
Terminator.
like, listening to this, like, movie in the background with nobody talking and be like, oh, well, this is the worst podcast I've ever heard.
Wow. So we've got a kind of this comic book styled opening with all the frames going by. We've seen it a few times.
They don't do this anymore, you know that?
The frames, or?
No, openings. Like, Marvel has never done one. Period.
Really?
Yeah.
They just start every
Well,
movie?
Iron Man, the closest we got was
The
it just goes
flashback.
Iron Man, and then
Right.
the Avengers has like the Avengers.
After the teaser.
But like
Right.
comic book movies in the 2000s always had like the Spider-Man ones we saw last week. They're just like
And
these
the X-Men.
grandiose,
Yeah, huge big CG openings.
that were like, oh, look at this. Or I guess Marvel has done one. They did the Incredible Hulk. I always forget that's technically one of their movies.
Right. Yeah, the Edward Norton one, right?
Oh, we don't have subtitles.
Oh. Oh, technology. Maybe there's just a...
Not that it changes.
Should we turn it up slightly?
Just give me a second here.
It's not bad.
No worries.
Is it okay? We okay?
Why disrupt it?
Maybe, we can even turn it up a little more because, like, I figured out that I can. This is technical things, but I can the soundtrack from a movie, and it does
Auto
kind of do the
filter it?
No, it does the job of like.
This is Dominic
Making,
West here,
it
right?
solves some
Yeah.
of my problems, is what I'm trying to say. It's like, if
Excellent.
you want to turn it up a little more, even it's fine.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. That guy in the back is like henchman for hire in every movie like this, right? Anytime there's a mob, he's there. Loving the fish tanks.
Nice fish tanks, yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy was on The Wire, right?
Yes, he's played a bunch of recurrings.
The Wire
On
is sitting
various
in
TV
the complete
shows.
season box set right over there, and I've not watched it yet.
I watched the first season and then dropped off of it.
I heard it's like the best show ever made, but it can't be as good as Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones or
didn't-
Star Trek The Next Generation. Yeah, I'm gonna artificially inflate that. It was a different era.
I love his voice.
It doesn't suit his face, looking and matching his voice. Is this ADR?
I think because he's really working on that, like,
he's like
you know, like
He's like
trying to get
Vinny
that-
Barbarino.
Yeah.
He's
So,
in like the lower part in front of his mouth when he speaks.
yeah.
It's weird. He's British though, right?
Oh, okay.
I believe so. Yeah.
He looks so weird.
I remember when we first started learning American accents for it's so like in the mouth, and you can really, especially if you're doing like a
Both your American accents are pretty good. I've heard you guys break them out, and it's shocking. Anyway,
This is to me. This always. I don't know. But this struck me as weird, like starting with the villains. Like you don't even see Punisher for like a solid 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes or whatever in this movie.
Well, I think that's because this movie isn't really following Punisher.
It doesn't really follow the Punisher.
Like,
He just kind of pops in and out of it.
Yeah, he's kind of like, and like I feel like it to a certain extent in this movie, and this is what makes me excited about the new Spawn movie.
I was
that's
just gonna
coming
say,
out.
right?
Because I feel like Punisher in this is the force of nature that is like uncontrollable.
The fist of nature, kind of, right?
The fist of nature. So you know they take away some of that like difficulty of trying to connect with Punisher as a hero, and they make it just as him who's the guy in the background that comes in.
It's kind of like Swamp Thing in a way.
Oh yeah, very much like Swamp Thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
very true.
We're getting more of that creature vision too, right? Like the pan through the
This
trees.
is actually pretty great. Like, and then he.
That's it's very Batman-esque.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's ripped right out of that
Year
Batman
one.
Year One,
Year one.
where he goes and shows up at Carmen Falcone's.
Yeah. It was the
He just
wall
cut a guy's
exploding.
head off with a knife. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
He broke her neck.
Oh, yeah. And then
Oh,
This Yes.
Oh,
Jesus!
so good. So good.
Oh god, this movie's.
So much knife slicing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this guy played Volstagg or whatever in Thor.
Right.
Thor, Dark World, and technically Ragnarok for half a second.
Yeah.
And he played Titus Pullo
Oh,
in
this-
Rome.
Oh,
character.
Yeah. Titus is my favorite in Rome. He's so good.
Mine too. Yeah, he's so good.
And
I remember seeing him in Rome and then hearing that he was going to be the Punisher, and I was like, yes.
see, that was my reaction to it, and then I watched this movie. Like, yeah, it's not, none of it's his fault. He looks like he's straight out of, like, the Garth Ennis run or whatever. Like, I'm not sure if that's correct, Garth Ennis. Like, I just remember
Like Trans-Metropolitan Garth Ennis.
like the Punisher comics that look like they're painted or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whoever run that was.
I don't know. I do love all these statues everywhere. Is there like a super villain for like, you know, a decorating store that they can sell you like busts of Julius Caesar?
Well, there's a supervillain in the Marvel universe called Gargoyle, who's able to turn people into stone. So maybe if
That's a great idea.
If his superhero career falls apart, he can just turn people to stone and sell them as busts to supervillains.
That's a great idea.
That'd be kind of a funny comedic movie.
They could even like don't and then cut them off at the torso, and it would be like not gory, but you could get away with it. That kind of looks like Hank from Breaking Bad, right?
No.
He's similar build and head and stuff.
But
Is he's an insider, right?
He's a cop. He's a cop, but he's like he helps Castle a
Cool.
lot because he.
I wonder if that's a Canadian actor because his like Boston accent or whatever the fuck they're trying to do is awful.
Did they film this in Vancouver? No.
Montreal.
Montreal, right. Okay. Rizzotti Brothers. Huh. It's nicely lit. Like, props to the direction. So far, I'm impressed. I like these tracking shots that they're using. Like, kind of feels like you're flipping pages in a comic, right? Like that looks great.
It's a very colorful movie.
Yeah,
Like
surprisingly. Greens and yellows
greens,
and yeah.
just like purples and.
Ooh, what is he?
What the hell, man?
He broke his nose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Showing you how hardcore. Parkour!
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 It's pretty much all we're gonna say when we finally get to watch the Phantom mini TV series. It's gonna be amazing. I found it. Still searching for the hard copy because we have to have a hard copy, but
Yeah.
we'll get it.
Parkour.
It's
get
the
it.
rules. It's like a video store.
Trying to make these people look real badass right now.
Yeah, parkour.
The music
Yeah.
selection. It's like just really, really shitty, like rock and roll.
It's kind of like that rave rock garbage stuff, like from the first Blade movie.
It's like the generic shit that's like, this is by the guy for this movie. you
It's
know?
it's like light drum and bass.
Yeah.
So parkour. He should have come flying through the window. That would have been
Parkour.
much better.
This guy with dreadlocks, I don't want to spoil it, but he is part of my favorite moment in this movie.
It's pretty hilarious. At the same moment, yeah.
I think you probably have to be.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like the black Gary Oldman from True Romance. You right?
Just picked up 200K from a little channel construction site. I had to launder through the Pussycat Lounge, like you told me.
Be neat if they did a short film with all the Gary Oldman characters, and he could play all of them. They're so different, each one.
Did you ever see the short film where Gary Oldman plays the devil? And he's in like a wheelchair, and then he ends up going on this chase in like the
No.
Vegas desert.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, I'll hunt it. I'll hunt it down. I'll send it to you. It's
Okay.
It's pretty hilarious.
Parkour!
Yeah.
Parkour!
Who uses the stairs anymore?
Can't you just go up the stairs?
This is all so over the top. Like every shot they're in, right? Like he's like, laugh bigger from your belly.
This is kind of like a 2008 version of what the mindset going into Batman and Robin was, you know?
Right.
It's a comic book movie.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, see, there you go. See, this could have been like the 7-Up logo, right? And then, and then like the bottle would fizz, and then the blood would fizz,
The spot, you like the spot in the middle of the 7-Up logo.
right?
The cool spot?
Yeah. Why not? Please contact our Back Issues marketing department for
That's
potential
me.
advertising. Yeah. Talk to Mel on Twitter.
Yeah. No, not Twitter. I'm really bad at Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Instagram.
Instagram.
I'm only vaguely better at that.
Perfect.
Actually check it.
I have to delete my Twitter, I guess. I have a few inappropriate jokes on there.
Isaiah, you're bringing our brand down. We've
Yeah.
talked about this.
We want to work for Disney one day, man.
I was trying to win a prize at the Rio.
Oh, jeez.
One must.
I only have one
What
tweet.
do they need to
It's
do?
to Tom Felton. I'm trying to sell him my Klingon-centered script for Season 2 of Discovery. I don't know why he didn't get back to me. Shout out to Tom Felton. Thanks for the beer, dude.
And the joke that won me the prize at the Rio was sex with me is like an astronaut. It burns up on re-entry.
Aww.
And I mean, like that's like the most mild one that I
Oh
tweeted
my
that
God.
day
That
too.
was the.
Yeah. I was like,
Did you win?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I
there
won-
you go,
I
at
won-
least.
I won
Yeah.
for that joke.
Oh,
this
Tim,
is
you're
real.
gonna love this, buddy. You're gonna love this.
Your ass is glass.
Oh.
This is
What
like,
is that?
yeah. Does that even exist in real life?
Um,
It's like the
don't know.
claw. Oh, ow.
Oh,
That would be super painful.
No, that's bad.
He's being like ground up in a recycling machine.
It looked like an upside down steel tip.
It looked like, yeah. Ooh. Ow. To be fair, this was probably a lot of fun to film.
Yeah.
I mean, Lexi is like she's a fight coordinator now as well as a director. But yeah, she comes from like that very martial sort of background, and
She must be, I wonder if she's a dancer or something as well. Martial artist. Usually they are, right? What's that guy? JJ from Arrow? The main guy? JJ Marco? Or Marco? Something like that?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Site
Yeah.
coordinator?
Yeah.
I've met him.
Yeah,
pretty nice.
I met him once too. He's a very cool guy.
I mean, like I worked with him for 2 seasons. But
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool
only
too.
really met him once.
That's something you can't fault Arrow for. Their stunts are pretty awesome.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
They just need better writing.
All the CW shows, I feel, really took that as the benchmark. You know, like I think one of the biggest changes you see is from Supergirl, is it CBS?
Right. Yeah.
To when it moved to CW, like suddenly the fight scenes, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's no longer big roundhouses or anything. You're actually seeing people like duke it out a little bit more. And
Supergirl got very good in season 2. Even their secret base of operations. Like in the first season, it looks like a set from like the old Batman show or something.
Yeah.
And then in season 2, they got like people walking around doing crosses in the background. You're just like feels like a place that stuff is happening. Wow, I love this.
Yeah, this is the Montreal Metro. It's like a better version of the SkyTrain system. Because they're
everywhere. Not just one direction.
Yeah. And, like, it always has connections like everywhere.
Awesome place.
good things about
know.
Montreal.
It's
like rent is
amazing.
cheap and like it's meant to be fantastic.
There's lots of circus.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to live there. It's got like 3 major colleges inside the city, and it's kind of a college town.
And cold winters with
And
snow.
really cold winters. But like I was there last summer, and it's just awesome. I went to Just for Laughs festival.
That'd be
when I was
cool.
there.
You see any big headliners?
No, there was the weekend I was there was the weekend before like all the big guys showed up. But I did see I don't remember his name right now. But he's on Flight of the Conchords. This guy who plays their like
Jermaine Clement?
No, he plays the like
Their
guy,
manager?
No, the guy that like owns like the pawn shop.
Oh, jeez.
I don't remember him.
I don't remember his name right now, which is disappointing. He was really funny.
Jermaine is hilarious though.
Oh, he's gold, yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Look at all that gold.
Pizza
Got the
face.
gore on there.
He did.
So dead. So it was our FBI informant, right? And then,
Slow to anger and rich in mercy. He does not treat us according to our sins.
it wouldn't be a Punisher movie without a funeral scene.
Hey, yes, that's
Kinda
true.
cool aesthetic.
Parents have compassion on their children.
Julie Benz.
Hey, isn't that guy from Arrow 2 in the background there?
Yeah, he plays the banker.
Who's like having an affair with their mom,
Then
right?
he has to be Canadian because I've seen him in like other shows made in Canada.
Yeah.
The wind blows and we
He was good, and then they kind of wrote him out. He was never utilized very well, I found.
Well, he was the CEO or the CFO of Queen Consolidated, and then he left and went into the bank, and he popped in like every now and then, but not really in a.
But he's still
major
alive in
way.
that universe.
So you know what? They haven't gone back to his character in the longest time, so not 100% sure.
Would it be weird to suddenly reveal him as like a puppet master from behind the scenes, or?
It would be very Arrow to do that.
Yeah. Like pretty much every character does that at some point.
Yeah. That is the one thing I wish they would change. I wish they would just have like someone that wants to come in and mess up Starling City, as opposed to continually having these people that are like, I have
British.
a problem with you, Green Arrow, or I have a problem with you, Oliver Queen. It's like, just have a guy that has a plan to like, I don't know.
Because he's not Batman. As much as they want to make him Batman, he's not.
Yeah.
Right? I think the show I'm most excited for is, and it'll bring me back, because I haven't watched any of the Arrowverse this season. I just burnt out after they introduced the boring version of the Elongated Man. And I was like, no offense to the acting, but I had a way better arc. In
Oh,
mind.
you're not a fan of Ralph Dibny?
No, I love Ralph Dibny, the character, but I didn't like what they did with him on the show. And then I just stopped midway through, and I was like, eh. But I'm super looking forward to Batwoman. I think it's going to be awesome.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
It'll bring me back.
Sure.
The casting I thought was great. I don't know why people are crapping on Ruby Rose.
Yeah, he's in Doctor Who. He's British.
Cool.
Dominic
right.
West?
No.
No,
the black.
what's his
black.
name?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Colin Salmon, like salmon.
Salmon like the fish?
Like the fish. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's where I recognize him from. He was in a couple episodes of Doctor Who. Because I watched 6 episodes of Arrow and then gave up.
It's fair enough. It's a long game. It's very much a long game.
Did they ever, like, are these names from the comics? Like, they name his wife and stuff? She's not really named Martha or something?
Another Martha.
Another Martha? I don't know.
Yeah.
Martha Castle.
I think it was Maria Castle, Frank Castle Jr., and The daughter.
Even that's nicely shot. Like the leaves all over the ground.
Really neat shot.
Alexia
Yeah.
Alexander, she made like she was like a legit director. Like, not that this isn't like legit to make a movie like this. I just mean like she made like a prestige movie before this. I feel
She did a few shorts. I was looking at her yesterday, and the main one that I could see was Green Street Hooligans, I think.
yeah. I think that was the movie that she made that, and then
I think
oh yeah, former world karate and kickboxing champion.
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
There you go.
Right, yeah, it was Green Street Hooligans, and then they offered her this movie because they're like, "Ooh, you got this gritty, blah blah blah," and then
Yeah, totally.
There's so much green everywhere in this movie.
yeah,
It's like a wash, hey?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like the Matrix filter
Well,
they've got over top of it, right?
a lot of movies post The Matrix used it.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed most Fincher movies look kind of yellow?
His choice of color. You know what Ariana says to me the other day, this 14-year-old? She goes, I'm like, you know so much more about YouTube than I do. Tell me your favorite YouTubers. And she starts listing them off. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of PewDiePie, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, yeah, there's one called Every Frame. I'm like, Every Frame a Painting? She's like, yeah, that's it. She's like, but the Marvel movie sound. I'm like, oh, wouldn't you know?
Yeah.
Shout out to Every Frame a
Do
Painting.
you ever spend 24 hours to talk?
Yeah. Well, I was like, we played trivia against each other. That was pretty funny. Anyway. Yeah. Here, anyone need something while I'm up?
I'm alright. I got water and peanuts and chocolate and Punisher.
This is very relaxed after the last. This is very nice.
I know.
Thanks for this, guys. I think.
Last week felt like a task. This is just like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Some self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care
Yeah.
with friends.
Yeah. While watching some brutal violence on screen.
I love this character.
Captain told me you were coming in.
He's like a cartoon character.
Punisher task force.
What is he out of? So I know him from somewhere.
He's been in a
Probably in
bunch
City.
of things. There's something in particular that I remember.
Is he
him
like a
from,
tech
though.
from some show? He looks like a nerdy science tech guy. Not Dexter, but something like that.
It's close, I think. Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it.
Was he in a CSI? No, I don't watch those.
Done a few cop roles as well.
Yeah.
Dash Mahawk?
His name's
Mahawk?
Dash? That's
Dash, yeah.
awesome.
Dash Mahook? That's kind of cool.
Oh, you know what? He was in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. He
Oh! Yes, he was.
He's
Who was he?
in,
Tybalt or something? I can't remember.
No, he wasn't Tybalt. He was one of the two kind of like sidekick characters.
He was a lot younger. I remember.
Yeah.
Well, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet was like
1999 or 98?
something
Yeah.
like that. It was definitely after Titanic.
That was a great movie, though.
Because like Titanic, I feel like was the movie that put Leo onto the path of being like the romantic
Yeah.
guy, and then you're like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he was smart about where he went. He made like choices that he wanted to make, as opposed to
I've never
having people
seen
be like.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape, but I've heard he's good at it.
I've never
heard
seen it
good
either,
things
but I
on
have
it.
it. I picked it up for like $1. I was like, might as well. I'll get to it.
He was a kid in that movie, like a legit kid, right? Like
Yeah.
14 or something like that.
Milano's best pizza in the
He was Benvolio. in
Benvolio,
Romeo
right.
and Juliet.
The alleged
And then he's been in a
This movie is very green.
yeah.
Wow. Great lighting, though. Like, everything looks awesome.
I wonder where they, because this doesn't feel like a set. I wonder where they, like this is like a great location.
Yeah. It's probably like the basement of some university or something.
Citibank. That's Canadian.
Weird. Okay, so I was totally expecting like a transition through the grate or something. They just cut away from it.
Yeah, there's like very little CGI in this movie.
That's
There
good.
he is. Wayne Knight.
Sorry, can you turn that off, please? We can hear that on the mic. Yeah. Do you want some headphones? Okay, thanks.
He's in Ray Donovan. I think that's where.
Oh, he's in Ray Donovan as well.
Isn't he the brother or something?
Oh, he is one of the brothers. Yeah, the kidder sorry, not the kid brother, the younger of the three that kind of got messed up by the priest.
Isn't Ray Steve
Hmm?
one of yours? An Aussie.
An Aussie?
Yeah.
Is he
Don't
from New Zealand?
believe
Maybe?
So.
You're fighting a war
I don't know.
against the assholes.
Or English. Rome.
He's either British or he's not American.
English actor, I would say.
I was in Toys R Us.
Oh,
the
he's
other day.
Irish.
Is he really? That's
Yeah.
awesome. That explains a lot. No wonder.
He looks Irish.
Is that the big blonde guy?
No, it's the main guy, the Punisher.
He's a big dude too. He's like big. No, I think
He's heavy,
I
too,
might
right?
have
But
been
he's
just
solid.
Mixing him up with Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber is Australian, right?
Is he?
Liev Schreiber?
No.
I might just be like completely off today. Maybe I'm off my game.
I thought he was like, he has Ukrainian backstory, right? He directed that Everything is Illuminated with Elijah Wood.
Schreiber was born in San Francisco.
Yeah, there you go.
I am definitely off.
His big first role was as the, like, just background character in the first Scream, right? Cotton Weary.
Yeah.
Shut up, we want to work for Disney. Don't bring up Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson was born in like New York or something, but he moved to Australia when he was like 16 or something.
Yeah.
Right? And then
was,
he did Gallipoli was his first movie?
No, Mad Max had to been before.
Was it before? I thought he was like only like 19 in Gallipoli. I don't know.
Gallipoli.
He's pretty young in Mad Max as well.
Mad Max was 79, I feel.
Wow. I don't know. You could be right. Oh, jeez.
I've been wrong like at least 3 times in the last like 5 minutes.
It's okay. Everybody has an off day. This looks a little bit silly. He's like
Yeah.
Darkman or Hush
I want
mixed
to know
together.
how much time they spent on the little hair tuft.
Out the front? Yeah.
I need half an hour for makeup.
He's also talking without very much pain as well, even though his whole face has been like absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, he should be straining to get his words out and like spitting and drooling on himself.
Yeah. He's also just gone through a whole bunch of plastic surgery to try and re-stitch everything together.
This is the scene from Batman '89, which you won't know yet, where he's like, "Mirror, give me the mirror."
It's gonna be all healed over already, isn't it?
Oh, I hope not.
Like I hope not. I don't
Sound
want it to
effects.
be healed over.
It's bad.
Just wait. You just
One
wait.
of the
Just
henchmen
wait.
behind should be like, "Ah!"
holding a glass of
Yeah.
water or something. What? What's the matter with you? What are you looking at?
I got something on my face.
There you go.
God.
Nicely done.
Oh my god.
You know, Mad Max was first. It was 2 years before Gallipoli. I was wrong. One time in this entire podcast. I was
That's
wrong.
1 out of 3. Yeah.
I am.
Oh, this guy's gonna get
33%.
taken out back and shot now.
It happened.
What's the matter with you? Can't fucking control yourself. You know how sensitive he is about his looks. Sorry, Pops. It's just that if you ever seen anything so... You shut the fuck up.
There are sometimes it's best just to stop talking.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't need that scene at all. Oh, gross.
Oh wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's very soap opera-y.
Yeah, he's like the Phantom or something of the opera.
I like how he sees like the jigsaw pieces, and that's like the origin of his name.
Okay, boss. Much better.
Another thing to blame on CNN or whatever.
I think of Frankenstein.
Oh, jeez.
Oop.
Oh yeah, taking care of business. Now
Cut
put
it
your
out.
it on. There we go.
But wait, what happened? I thought the cops had him. I missed something. Obviously, I thought he was arrested, or not arrested, but like.
I'm assuming they might have explained it away in the dialogue, but
God.
oh yeah.
We need to focus on my goals. 1, we need to get my money back. 2, we're gonna get rid of Frank Castle.
Would you still be uncomfortable at that stage of recovery?
Yeah, definitely. He would be in excruciating pain, I feel.
Looney Bin Jim? Shut the fuck up.
What exactly, like, do they deal drugs or something? Like, maybe he's, like,
They're
just highly
mobsters.
doped up.
He seems too like focused to be highly doped up.
Yeah.
Don't mind him.
Like this same thing turns the Joker like insane, basically, in the Batman '89 movie. Spoiler alert.
Well,
The Joker's insane? What? One of the reasons I've never seen the Batman '89 movie is because I've essentially seen the Batman '89. I
Right,
actually watched
through
it,
osmosis
you know what I mean?
kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It's like omnipresent, but yeah, like I know like the bad acid, like the whole thing. Like I know it. Joker kills.
I think you're really gonna like it
Kills his
though. It
parents
really
in it.
holds up.
See, I watched Batman Returns and I was like, this is not good.
Batman Returns was worse by a lot, except Michelle Pfeiffer's in it.
Yeah, I mean, she was actually great in it. Like legitimately great in it.
Yeah.
Not just like, ooh.
Oh.
Danny DeVito was great, but he
Yeah.
wasn't really
Great
playing the
acting,
Penguin.
actually.
It was like,
No, he was playing like some like sewer rat.
yeah.
oh shit, we need some humane moments in here. Let's go to a park, guys. We'll shoot it with really bright light. It'll be great.
Julie Benz, brunette hair.
Oh,
Brunette hair.
geez, I didn't recognize her.
Kentworth Asylum. So Arkham
Looks
Light.
really cool.
Arkham Light, Diet
Yeah.
Darkham.
They're really hitting you in the face with the audio track, aren't they?
That's
Yeah.
not a.
Music.
That's not a thing.
Sound
Like a.
effects.
Yeah. Like a big like
Big metal key.
fucking like 1820 key. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Looney Bin Jim.
Is that a Marvel guy?
I don't know.
Oh, that's Toombs from the X-Files. Right? The guy from who can squeeze through vents. Remember? From he's in 2 episodes. Squeeze, and then is the second one called Toombs? And then he eventually gets like squished in the escalator.
Oh,
Remember? And he squeezes and he can get down the
that's right.
pipes and like goes after Scully. He like
I think that was unnecessary.
That was good.
Oh my god, that face.
he's a little too comic booky, but like cartoon comic
Not in a
booky.
good way.
Not in a good way.
I don't know. I kind of love it. For me, I feel like the style of everything is exactly in that vein, so it works.
Ew.
It does. It looks weird.
It looks weird.
It looks
Kiss
weird.
That face.
No.
I guess it's his brother though.
Go open the doors to every other cell.
Wow. He's a creepy actor, right? He like collects like tokens, like trinkets from his victims, and then he builds like a cocoon out of newspaper and bile that he's regurgitated, and he needs like 8 livers, and then he can hibernate for 30 years. It's what a good episode. If you haven't seen that episode of the X-Files, wait until this podcast is done and then go watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it now.
Yeah. But soon.
Did you know that? Yeah. Yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy, tummy.
Playing a cat.
Do you know that last tummy was actually improvised? They were just going with the 2 tummies, and it wasn't working.
Let's do that third one, and
Yeah.
then bam,
Boom.
everything tied together.
Casey starts, not feeling
Oh, is he eating his liver?
Yeah, he's like a
Yeah.
cannibal.
Oh, well, there's some typecasting if you've ever...
There we go. Now we know how he got the role.
Yeah, it's great. They're like, yeah, we think you're perfect for this, but could you just eat this liver here for it? Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you. No, you can stop now. All right. It's all good.
Please stop.
I feel like he's made a career out of being like a crook. Because this guy's in Murder, She Wrote, Diagnosis Murder, Time to
Yes.
Kill,
Oh,
Con Air, The Green Mile.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, he's the guard who doesn't put the
Practice.
sponge on his head in the Green Mile. Ooh.
Law and Order, CSI. I'm not seeing X-Files on here though.
It's probably one of his first roles. Scroll down to 1994. Is it 93 or 94?
Oh no, there it is. Sorry, I missed it. Yeah, you're right.
90, 93, 94?
93.
Boom. There we go. Cool.
It's just they put the new X-Files poster on the IMDb, so I was expecting to see the old one.
Ah.
Because it's like, oh no, David Duchovny's not that old.
Yeah, he looks old now. Right?
He got old. She still looks great.
Yeah, she does.
Shut your mouth.
She was also in the Rambo redo as well?
She was. Actually.
Yeah, she was one of the explorers or scientists, whatever it was.
I haven't seen it. I just remember.
Have to say,
You don't get to do that.
I do not like that movie.
I haven't seen any of the Rambos.
Surprise, surprise.
I was just like, Rambo's one of those series where it's like they should have stopped after one.
What you did to Nick.
Like, First Blood is legitimately a good movie. Filmed in Hope.
Oh, really?
First Blood, yeah.
That's cool.
It's one of the first movies that like history made, essentially.
Good agent keeps his family safe. We couldn't always be here.
We have a film industry because of
Took you out to the range.
Stallone and Travolta, right? Didn't they? And Bruce Willis. They filmed Look Who's Talking stuff here.
The Neverending Story had filmed here. And
Right
then
in
they
Gastown, yeah.
imported like all of the crew, and then everybody in town was like, "Wait,
This is like the best set
why?
ever.
No, but why aren't we the ones working
Oh, from right.
on these movies that they keep filming here?" The crew like grips and everybody, so they started training up people and like starting it after
Cool.
like the Neverending Story. At least that's the scuttlebutt that I heard around town.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. That's
The
good.
Neverending Story is a great movie. One of my favorites.
I gotta say, Julie Benz is. I don't like her.
You don't? Oh, I really like her.
I like her too.
She just always bothers me. I don't know. The choices she makes with their characters is like.
I thought Rita was
Maybe
a
it's
great
just Dexter.
character
Maybe
on
it's just
Dexter. I mean, you don't want to be her, but she plays it well.
But then again, I know Skylar from Breaking Bad.
Now, I didn't like her.
If you rewatch the show, you're like, oh, you know what? I hate her because she's getting down on Walt, but Walt's also killing people, cooking meth. It's like, she's the one in the right here.
Yeah.
Once she becomes the
interesting-
boss of the car wash,
Yeah.
she becomes like a way better character.
It's an interesting switch, though, because you're like you watch it and you're supposed to be on Walt's side, but then if you watch it again, you're like, well, Walt becomes this spoiler monster, and then you're like, oh, everybody else is actually reacting like a human being would.
yeah.
You just
His
don't like.
transformation just happens so gradually that
Yeah.
It's
you
great.
sort of forget where the line is.
And
from,
Jesse's
like,
always
being
there.
A good, redeemable person to like,
Yeah.
what happened? But I still like him.
Jesse, though, kind of validates it, because he's like the virtuous character who's there the whole way until he's not. And then it's like, okay. Also, Skylar White was a Jerry Seinfeld girlfriend. Yeah, she's one in... I forget which one. Season...
Oh, yes, yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that episode.
That's
Or,
not the
like,
one where
Aunt
he has
said
to
she was
sit
there.
on the side of the couch? Am I misconfusing
I've
two
seen
episodes?
like 5 episodes of Seinfeld.
I don't know. There's like quite a few big actresses who all started out as Jerry Seinfeld girlfriends.
I mean, Bryan Cranston's in Seinfeld.
Bryan Cranston's in Power Rangers.
Yeah, he's the voice
Is it
of.
Seinfeld or is it
A bunch of them.
Friends?
Like the
No,
Pigman.
he's in Seinfeld. He plays
Tim Whatley.
a doctor. at
The
one
dentist.
point. The dentist, yes, the dentist. That's right.
He's an anti-dentite, right? Or
Well, I mean, Billy Cranston is named after Bryan Cranston.
Billy Cranston?
Yes, the Power Rangers character.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's named after Bryan Cranston. I'm not even making this up.
Wow, that's
Because
cool.
he was like such a... Because like Cranston did... Like,
All like a lot of the monster
all the
voiceovers,
voices,
right?
Basically, yeah. Like he did so much of it. And they're like, here's a little Easter egg because you're such a trooper.
Well, I would 100% keep Bryan Cranston as Zordon, but
Yeah, I wouldn't change that. He was great.
he was great.
Well, I mean, he phoned it
He
in,
wasn't
but
in
he's
enough of that movie. It was like the same thing with Godzilla, right? You're like, oh, this movie's great, and then like 10 minutes in, you're like, ah.
Well, to be fair, he gets killed off in the first end of the first third of that movie. Or
Yeah,
something.
and then we follow his less interesting son, like for the rest of the movie.
Because like it sets up the emotional the emotional hook in that movie is like Bryan Cranston's like
He should die in the movie, but
Moby
he should
Dick.
die at the end of the
it's
movie.
like Moby Dick
Yeah.
for him, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, I thought it was dumb to make the monster that essentially killed his wife not be Godzilla.
Right.
It
That's
should have
true
been
too.
Godzilla.
Yes.
Like that they found initially.
It was an interesting choice.
Cause like they're like
They filmed that in Steveston as well, actually.
yeah, it was filmed here.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Things you learn.
Enough. The Punisher.
I also didn't enjoy that movie very much.
No, I didn't either.
My looks have nothing
Well,
to do
Gareth
with
Edwards, I feel, has a problem with.
everybody.
He takes his characters, he sets them up, and then just
Customs.
pushes them towards the cool part at the end, rather than like it being a journey for them to get there. It's just like they're narratively just like there's no place for them to go but to that cool set piece at the end. Same thing. It's my biggest problem with Rogue One.
With
It's
Rogue
just,
One.
like all the characters are just pushed towards the end, rather than it being like. It just feels. Oh my god!
Ow.
That was unexpected. Stem of a.
What piece of cutlery is that?
That's a stem of a wine glass.
Oh, okay.
You know that stupidly tall wine glass that was... Yeah, there it
One
is.
of those.
Wow. Yeah,
That was-
okay. Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Obviously chosen just for that.
Yeah. Wow. I recently read, apparently the characters were initially going to be the characters in Rogue One, and then I guess they decided they didn't want to kill them off, spoiler alert, or whatever happened.
Feels like a reasonable plan.
So they just sidelined them for Rebels, which you guys have still not seen, right?
I've seen part of the first season of Rebels when it was still quite kid.
Yeah,
Like
season
me?
2, it becomes great. And then they introduced Darth Maul
There's 3
back
seasons,
into it.
right?
4 seasons.
Okay, so I think I've seen.
And season 4 breaks the universe,
Whatever-
but not in the way The Last Jedi does. Like, in a way that could actually fix The Last Jedi. Spoiler alert.
I'm working my way... I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I'm working my way through the Clone Wars
Yeah.
animated one. So I'm up to, like... I'm partway through season 5. So once I've finished
Oh, you've
that-
really gotten in. It's
Oh, yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
All
No,
the
it's
Mortis
been,
stuff was so well done,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's been a slog for some of the episodes, but... yeah.
I found the best episodes don't feature Anakin Skywalker. They're either only about the clones, only about Ahsoka, or the whole stuff with Obi-Wan going undercover as the bounty hunter.
Oh, that was
From then
great.
on out,
Great.
I think the fight in the Star Wars movies even, I'll go out on a limb here, was the fight with Ventress and Obi-Wan against Savage Opress and Darth Maul in the ship.
In the ship, yeah.
That was the coolest thing. And then they end on that cliffhanger and you're like, what?
I might actually check out that Resistance show that's coming out, because it's like traditionally hand animated, like hand drawn animated. It's like one of the things that takes me out of like Rebels and the Clone Wars is just how like weightless and janky they look.
They look like action figures,
Yeah.
right? Like, which is
I don't mind-
kind of cool.
I don't mind all of it, but it's like
know this
their
piece of
movements
shit?
are so like, yeah, you had a TV series budget to animate this with, and it just kind of takes me out of it.
Watch the first episode I recommend is the one with the clones on that outpost where Rex and Cody show up for the
training.
the training, yeah, and then you meet the main clones that you kind of follow the rest of the series. They like disappear for episodes at a time, then come back
Fives.
into it. Fives is great
Fives.
and heavy.
Whoa! Damn! Look at that.
The colors.
Jeez!
Never once seen a banger that could quit. Too fucking
Look at those. There's just these cases, bookcases full of purple light and guns.
Hey, Mom. Mike's here. He says eat up. Huh?
How's she doing?
She's comatose in a chair.
As long as she's got her cooking shows, she's good.
Like here, he is definitely like he's like average weight,
Hey, that's
right?
something.
Like for a guy
I mean-
his age.
Again, good for him for losing. Like John Goodman as well. Like, can't be easy to be like almost 60 and having to like lose that much weight.
Except John Goodman is like he's the big guy. Like he should
Oh,
stay
yeah.
the big guy. Like it's
Well,
bad
but
for
it's unhealthy.
well
He might have been dead by now if he had stayed that way. You know what I mean?
maybe.
Like, is it better for him to lose his image or to be alive?
I don't know what they're gonna do for the little Lebowski though. Is it gonna be about him and his weight loss? I was hoping it would be about their baby
Also,
mods.
I think I've
and-
mentioned this before, but Wayne
the
Knight
dude.
was victim to a Mandela effect at one point. He
Really?
mentions it in a podcast. It was like he woke up one day, headlines is like, Wayne Knight has died. It's like,
Why I believe in you. Why I've supported
I'm
you.
dead?
Want me to tell you when something
Because I thought he died. Because I had read that headline.
happens? That's what's gonna
Oh, I never read that.
And he's
headline.
still alive. He's like very much still
It's
alive.
not a question of if,
Wasn't he recently like an ad campaign guy for something? I don't watch a lot of TV. I only put in discs and watch stuff that I choose to watch.
So dumb.
oh, a couple of Berettas. What?
You know you've made it when even your cupboard's open with like a little motorized hinge. It's like unlatch.
Besides the last one. Then I'm done. From your lips to God's ears. You know where I can find him. I don't have a fix on him. Your wife-
So is Wayne Knight playing his buddy from the Spider-Man cartoon that's
Micro.
driving the van?
Micro.
Okay, that's awesome.
I like Micro, like his and Punisher's and Micro's relationship in
The TV
TV
series?
show.
The Netflix show? Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
plays him in that?
Weedy guy from, I think he's on Girls, I want to say. Give me 1 second, I'll bring him up.
Because, like, really, the emotional through line of that entire first season is their relationship. It's, like, kind of like this like, weird, like, odd couple situation. It's cool. I really like that.
I really liked him in Daredevil, and I love the actor. He's great.
Yeah.
Agent Budiansky. Take a
Who is
look.
it?
Booty Asky?
John Berthenol as the Punisher casting was awesome, and then Ebon Moss Backrack.
Wait.
This guy plays Micro. He
He
was
looks
in
familiar.
Girl. He's another one of those guys. Been in a bunch of.
Right.
Bunch
Oh,
of
Person
stuff.
of Interest. Cool. Another recommendation for Person of Interest. If you haven't watched it, it's amazing. It is Batman, the TV show. Like, if you ever said, why isn't there a live-action Batman show? And Caviezel would have made a great Batman.
Yeah, and, like, sorry, I'm remembering Montreal because, like, it's just full of these, like, rows of these, like, cool brick houses. Especially in, like, it's called, like, the English part of the city. Like, all the people who speak English kind of live.
We lived there for, like, how long, Dad? 2 years. But I don't remember much about it. Like, I was too young.
It's a beautiful city. I'd go back in a heartbeat. Plus, there's a Hooters there.
Really? Wow. Stop the movie. Let's go.
Oh,
Oh.
it was potentially the saddest thing.
Parkour!
Oh no, I'm gonna shut up for a minute.
Parkour!
Parkour!
Parkour! Yeah!
But it was like the saddest thing I've ever walked into. The Hooters there was like one patron at the bar and it's like the bartender and nothing else was going on. And my ex-girlfriend and I were like, yeah, let's not go in here. This is sad.
Probably a good idea.
And leaving, and the bartender's like, no!
So we went to a little Irish pub that had live music instead. It was great. Oh yes,
wrong.
parkour! Oh my god, it's gonna
Yeah!
happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, more!
Parkour.
Oh, that
Parkour. Here it
didn't
comes.
seem to, Oh, that's a bit more impressive.
no.
There we go.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
The anticipation's killing me right
Red
now.
hair flick.
Woohoo! There it is.
Wow, that's horrible.
You just got rocket launched.
That, I hope so.
Yes.
Oh my god, I feel like
Oh my God.
I feel like not enough people talk about that moment right
Just rocket launching.
Oh, why
a
would he
guy
roll
doing
off
a
the roof,
parkour
though?
backflip.
there. He nailed him with a fucking lock.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's
There was
so
like no
bad.
body. It was just he was gone.
Yeah.
Olsen is gone, sir.
Decided. Where is
That's a terrible Russian accent. Sorry.
You were supposed to give me some dough for a job. But turns out, you don't have any anymore. You forgot who punched you, that FBI bastard.
What accent?
Yeah, I was
is
just
he
gonna
doing?
say.
I think he's trying to be...
But he sounds Irish.
Irish
Yeah.
by way of Jamaica.
Mr. Punisher, sir.
That's
Mr.
very...
Punisher.
Yeah.
Weird.
Interesting.
I feel like he might.
Black Gary Oldman has survived this round.
I feel like he might. That's so weird. Like that accent was all over the place. Doesn't he drop him on their car? Sorry if that's a spoiler. I feel like he
Huge
drops him on
spoiler there,
I feel like
Isaiah.
he
Why-
drops.
why would you
I
do
feel
that?
like he drops Jamaican Gary Oldman on their car. Jamaican Irish Gary Oldman.
Jamari Oldman.
No, that's what he does.
Whoa, there it is.
Okay, he doesn't survive. Oh wait. Nope. Oh! Ow.
Awesome.
That's just unnecessary.
I'm messy. Oh, no.
That's pretty.
Damn.
Why is he walking on the edge? Shouldn't he be walking in the middle?
Right? It should be him in the middle. It's weird. That's a weird shot.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not really following his crazy brother.
I can understand sending the crazy brother in first. I can totally understand that.
Hello, Mrs. Donatelli. Or will you be calling yourself Miss from now on?
What do you want from us?
I'm looking for my money. It's your rat your husband stole from me.
We don't have it, I swear to God.
No, she's the wife of like an undercover cop, right?
Yeah, so at the start,
Frank accidentally killed.
he accidentally kills
An
the
undercover
undercover cop. Yeah,
Oh.
and this is his family.
Okay, I get it. I didn't see that it was Frank's bullet that got him.
You are way too close.
Ouch. Nice, okay.
Aw, I wanted that to be like a Rowdy Roddy Piper versus oh, what's his name? I'm trying to make
You mean the Macho Man?
They Live reference.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
When he fights that.
Right, with, from Predator. What the hell is his name?
The black guy.
And, Arrested Development. Fuck, what is his name? I can't.
No, that's not the same guy.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
No. That's you're thinking of Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, that's the guy.
Not in They Live.
Are you sure it's not Carl Weathers in They Live?
Yeah.
Who's in They Live, then?
I'm looking it up. Keith David.
Oh, you're right. Keith David is the guy from...
He's the guy with the great voice.
And the teeth, right? He's got the
big
teeth. Darren Aronofsky's movie. You're right, I confused them.
Yeah, this guy.
Keith David, yeah. That's right. Fuck, They Live is actually a really good movie. I gotta give that a rewatch.
I haven't seen it all the way.
I've got it on... They recently put out a special edition Blu-ray.
I watched it.
I think.
I started watching it when I was in film school, but it was like one of those situations where we were like all watching it together, and then like kind of just like drifted out of the movie.
It's very timely now with all their advertising and, you know, viral media. Wow, I totally remember that as Carl Weathers, though. That's so funny.
Of all the people to answer the door, let's get the crazy guy to go and answer the door.
No,
With the cuts and the bruises.
everything is not okay. Follow me.
But he said follow me, and then he's behind them.
Officer.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Ow. They just
So-
happen to have swords on.
Oh!
Ouch.
God, they're just evil, aren't they?
Bound to come soon.
So I feel like there's been some really good thought behind a lot of the fight scenes that we've seen, but I feel like the way it's been shot is just slightly off. So we're kind of seeing it from almost like sometimes I feel like we should be seeing it close up, but
Right.
we're seeing it out far. Then other times we're seeing it out far when it should maybe be a little bit closer, make it a little bit tighter.
Before more pigs arrive.
That's probably just her own inexperienced shooting action.
Yeah, it's probably like a dual thing, right? Of the director and the DOP trying to figure out like their groove as to how do we shoot this stuff.
Could be too. Like sometimes they'll back away to get lower violence. This is it's a hard R.
This is But this one I feel like so one example is like when detective met in that alley. There was a couple of moments where you can see like Ray Stevenson, for example, is just kind of standing there, and it's like he's very clearly just waiting for the next punch to kind of happen. It's like if you edit that down just a little bit, then it's like he's just going straight into the duck as opposed to, waiting for that punch to happen. It's the same in the dinner scene, like right at the start. There was a couple of moments where it was very clearly like you could see the other guys that are about to get killed are just sitting there like, I will wait my turn. Okay.
Oh, that's what Dirty Laundry did really well, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was so fast and just like bam, 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 bam. Like everything was happening, even though it was happening but I guess that's the CGI blood and bone cracking.
I mean, another shout out to Every Frame of Painting, his video on how to, like the Jackie Chan video about how to like shoot action comedy.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
That taught me a lot about
show the follow through, right? Show the actual stunt from a distance instead of cutting away.
Yeah,
like
and,
when he runs up the wall and
when you're doing stuff like this where it's like they're not stunt people.
Right.
And like you can like it's either like do it from afar but do it well, or you gotta cut the shit out of it,
Which back issues did we suggest Jackie Chan for Splinter? Was that Ninja? Oh, I gotta throw that back out there. I think that would be awesome.
That was probably Ninja Turtles. I can't think of any other time when Splinter's come up in our conversation.
He's definitely the right age.
Yeah. He'd be perfect.
Well, and that's something that I think, that is one prop I will give to Batman v Superman. In those warehouse scenes, Batman looks so awesome. When we're far back and we just see him take on 4 guys at once, and he's like jumping all over the place, and there's none of that like weird janky cuts that kind of happen with the
That's like a
he punched into his skull. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. That was the best
What's
stuff
his face?
with Batman.
Snyder does know how to shoot an action scene.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the only... Like, not the only props. He shoots a pretty-looking movie, but...
Yeah,
like,
he does.
If I was...
That is horrible.
So over the top.
Face blown off.
Was that a jab at the Travolta Punisher? Face off? Or...
Face Off is the best movie ever made.
That's John Woo, right?
I will
That's
die arguing
Nicolas
that.
Cage, John Travolta. It's a good movie.
It's one of the best action movies ever made. Even though it's objectively not very good. You know what I mean?
Wow. I think the best action movie ever made is still The Rock. With also Nicolas Cage.
Michael Bay movie.
Michael Bay. I know. That's 2 podcasts in a row I'm complimenting Michael Bay.
And Sean hey, The Rock is great.
It is a great movie.
Like the only movie that he's made where I was like, that's a good movie.
It really is. It's like one of the best. It like you don't even like when you forget there's the whole 45 minutes before they even get to The Rock, right? Where they're like wrecking cars in San Francisco.
Ed Harris is great. Well, Ed Harris is great
in everything.
Sean Connery just obviously playing James Bond.
Yeah, it's like he's supposed to just be straight up James Bond, right?
I feel like they
kind of
at one point wanted that, you know what I mean?
It's like never say never again.
It's kid stuff. She got real curious real quick. She's like, hey, this guy, what is happening in this scene? Shouldn't she be like terrified or a little traumatized, gunfire, crazy people? But she just goes.
She should be like loading the gun, popping out the bullets.
She just went like straight
to
his truck.
I'm ready
and started,
to go.
like putting clips in her hair.
Clips in her hair and then clips in her gun.
To be fair, Frank Castle did give her a flashlight on the porch earlier on. So they have a real
Backstory.
established trust and everything going on. Hey, the merry-go-round.
Which
Wasn't his family killed on the merry-go-round? Yeah.
Featured in Face Off as well.
Oh, that's right.
Travolta's son got shot on a merry-go-round.
And that was in Daredevil season 2, right? They used the merry-go-round
They
in
used
that.
the merry-go-round in that. Yeah. And it became a big. It comes back in the Punisher series as well.
Cool.
The merry-go-round aspect.
That first season of the Punisher is my second favorite one that Netflix has done, just after the first season of Daredevil.
I still think Jessica Jones is better.
is great.
My favorite. Yeah.
Jessica Jones is kind of great for the same reason that The Dark Knight is so good, because the villain was just so amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
Not that that's like a close third for me.
Yeah.
Kingpin is such a good villain though too.
Kingpin's
Like, I don't know. I just never expected I'd really give a shit about Jessica Jones at all, and then it was the one that really hooked me right away.
The second season, though.
I haven't seen this. Still haven't watched The Defenders.
I haven't watched Luke Cage season 2 yet either.
I will happily say second season of Jessica Jones is still good, but it just
it's about 6 episodes too long though.
Yeah. I think the story that they chose for it just wasn't have the legs that the first one did, and so it was a lot about it delved into kind of what we were talking with the Spider-Man thing last week, like the Dark Mirror aspect. I think as soon as you bring that aspect of like, oh, this hero has to face someone that is like their opposite but has similar powers, I think you lose interest there. Whereas like Purple Man was so different.
Yeah.
Just as a character, even so different than anyone.
And so that's what really worked. And same with like Daredevil in season 1 and season 2. You get these very different villains that he has to, and even like the anti-hero of the Punisher.
Who's the villain in Jessica Jones season 2? Spoiler alert, I guess.
We can't really tell you without spoiling.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of there's
Caleb Keith Rennie is in it though.
Oh, I love Caleb Keith Rennie from and the X-Files. And
Due South.
Oh, he's in Due South?
He takes over for the first guy. He's like, what's his face is like first partner in Chicago. That actor leaves the show and he takes over in like the last 2 seasons.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Cool. And he was in one of the best seasons of Californication, right? He plays the Great Gatsby.
I haven't seen Californication.
Oh, really?
No.
The first episode is like one of the best episodes of television, I think.
Sorry, the brother just did a cat meow at a FBI agent.
Wow. Look at this shot of them.
I didn't hate the second season. Me saying it's terrible is actually not fair to it. It was just too long. It just felt very. There was a point in the season where I was like, "Oh, it's going to end now," and I was like, "There's like 5 more episodes."
Yeah. I think the hype of it was because of the impact that the first season made. I think there was a lot of hype behind that second season. I think the thing that I wanted more Trish. Like, I think she has a very arc throughout season 2.
That's Hellcat? Yeah, she was good in the first season, and I was like, let's see more of her.
Oh, great actor, you want, like, Ozzy.
Oh, really?
I was about to say that.
You're just going to throw it out there, just see, yeah.
And she's in another Michael Bay movie. She's in the first Transformers.
She is?
Yeah.
As who?
She plays, like, the blonde chick with the computers or whatever. She's like,
oh yeah, that's right.
The sexy like computer tech that's like, all right, you're a supermodel, but you're also, and not that can't happen, but she like dresses like a supermodel.
Right.
I don't know. Michael Bay is sexist.
And Defenders has some really good moments. I will give it that. I think there's this really cool, like, the way they use color and the soundtracks is really awesome. I think their problem was they...
Oh, shit, I said it.
What? No. Yeah.
That's what turned me off, I think, for those shows. Everyone just, like, crapped on Iron Fist, and I was like, oh, I can't get through that to then get to the Defenders.
Scott Buck did it.
Yeah.
From
First season of Iron
Dexter,
Fist.
right?
From Dexter. He's the one who ruined Dexter.
Right.
He's the one who
made them
season 1 of
wanna-
Iron Fist, and he made
He did Inhumans
the
as well.
Inhumans.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are
Oh.
you giving him shit?
Yeah.
Stop.
Give us some shit.
Well, the thing with Scott Buck is it's kind of a twofold aspect. Number one, he's
doesn't
not a
like
he's not a
comics.
big fan of superheroes and comics,
He doesn't like
and
costumes.
he hates costumes. So like for him, you've just got a showrunner that's not really like wanting to honor the source
doesn't embrace
material and
the
everything. So
elements.
like he goes away from it. Now, if you look at the trailer for season 2 of Iron Fist, it does look like it's got that Dark Mirror aspect happening.
Well, they didn't
with-
bring him back, though. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
Scott Buck
exactly.
is out.
He's
Oh,
done.
wow.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff Loeb will. He probably won't. Something else, I don't think. Just after
doubt
those
it.
2 back-to-back things, but
Yeah.
I trust Jeff Loeb though. He's he's great.
Then Iron
Writer,
Fist,
producer, everything.
I would have been like, hey, or at least Iron Fist season 2. I would have been like, hey,
We're gonna be homies, right?
the showrunners from
Yeah, we're gonna be tight.
Into the Badlands. Your show's over, ending. Come here, make Iron Fist.
you can't see my face right now, but it's exactly. Into the Badlands is the example that I used for what I wish the first season of Iron.
We've spoken of it lots.
It's Hong
so.
Kong style
Yeah.
fight
Which is what
sequences,
Iron Fist should have
and
been.
yeah, it's exactly what it needs to be. So that would have. Oh my god, yes,
Like,
yes.
just give it to them.
I'm
I
very.
think I already said this once on this
Yeah.
podcast last year, but yeah, just give it to them.
I am very excited for season 2 of Iron Fist, though. It looks like they've taken like aspects of Defenders, and they're like, okay, this did not work last time, so we're gonna fix this. Don't worry, we got this for you guys.
Okay, this looks like a Night at the Roxbury, but with like the creepy, weird brothers
The very obvious, like, CGI driving,
in the background. Yeah,
like, they're clearly not actually driving.
it's like the Seinfeld projection screen, right?
It looks as bad as, like, the 40s movies, where they literally had a projection screen behind it.
College education I'll never get. Promise nobody ever has to go to Iraq. Just as long as I get the kill castle.
The crazy brother is squeezing one of those like grip training.
Grip strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they've got Newman.
Micro.
They got new.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Hey, is it? Are we just mentioning Seinfeld so much in this episode just because of Newman?
No, because Seinfeld's great.
Yeah.
No, just and like you. Before
Oh, you brought Larry
Larry
David
David
up,
in.
and Larry
yeah.
David
Dirty
before we even
Laundry
started
as well.
watching
Kind
this.
of mentioning Seinfeld that you don't need to have a reason.
That's
It's
yes,
true.
right?
That's
Oh.
true.
I just
Hey,
mean
it's our secret weapon in the
it's
corner there.
weird that like this episode is connecting to Seinfeld in so many ways. You
Wouldn't
Larry
it be
David.
great? Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm plays a
Oh,
mobster.
Dang.
Oh.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah. Considering everything else we've had is very like, oh, geez, what did he throw? Did he throw the
The grip?
grip things?
I don't know.
Why is there an axe in the ceiling?
Because
there?
he needs to use it.
They're at Frank Castle's joint.
Ah!
Oh,
Oh.
damn.
This poor child.
Guess I'll have to ask it again.
Ow.
Here I come.
He's playing such a. I mean, obviously intentionally, but he's like a.
He's really. Usually all his roles are like understated and they barely talk. This is like kind of weird.
The bad guys in this are very much
Like, look how he's
bathing
moving.
in the river of Ham.
Yeah.
Just swimming on down that river, just like oh boy.
He's like, and he looks like Dorian from The Mask.
Yeah.
Like when the evil
When he
Dorian
puts
at
it
the
on,
end,
yeah.
and even the way he's moving.
Well, it's like I'm surprised there's like anything in the background because he's chewing all the scenery up.
Bring him upstairs. We'll be back down here. Let's see if we can talk a few poor bastards into signing up.
All right, I can't hold it. Let me know if I miss anything vital to the plot. I'll be back.
Oh man, we're about to hit the climax, Tim.
Sorry.
We smell cock. Oh, jeez.
Don't die on me.
Just had an axe to the chest a couple of times, so...
He may die.
Sure, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to take the axe out, like,
No.
get him to a hospital where they
Yeah.
can like, sew him up straight away.
That's like when you see them dig the bullet out in a movie where it's like, don't leave that in.
Yeah.
You will do more damage digging a
it's,
bullet out of yourself than the bullet did.
I see you anywhere near hell. I'll kick your ass up.
Aww. He feels redeemed. Redeemed himself.
Oh, I've been here. This church is the...
Does it
It's
have-
basically Notre Dame in Montreal.
Wow.
It's
Nice.
huge.
It is
And it was,
exceptional.
yeah,
Whoa.
like, just everything wrong with the Catholic Church in one building. It's opulent, it's expensive, it's got like all these like statues and like spiraling staircases.
Does it have that gigantic glowing cross in there? as
No,
well?
that's not.
That's added
that
in.
giant purple
No.
neon cross was not there.
No, it's like that'd be a real centerpiece, you know.
Yeah.
You build
Well,
your whole
the
church
outside
around
of the
that.
building looks like Notre Dame.
Oh, nice.
It's like a smaller version of Notre Dame.
Oh, actually, I think I saw your photo of that. Yeah.
So
This is an actual church.
Yeah, in Montreal.
In Montreal.
It's like
Cool.
the something basilica.
Saint like Vegas Basilica. Why is all the neon? You're like,
Because this movie.
Yeah, I mean, we've had green washes, red washes, blue washes.
Purple.
Now we've got purple as
We
well.
had purple at the mum's house.
Oh, we did
Right.
too. We did too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I went inside there. It cost like $5 or something like that, but it's
Really?
like, well, it's just like it's the thing that I liked about it is it's so full of history. It's like you look at one part, it's like, oh, this was placed here like
pre-Canada, right?
yeah,
Probably.
well,
Yeah.
Montreal's
Montreal's like the
country.
oldest, right? Yeah.
No, Quebec City
With the Chateau Frontenac and everything around, right?
in Montreal.
In Quebec,
Yeah, Quebec City is the oldest city in North America.
right? When it was like Haute Canada and
Yeah.
Canada Ba or whatever they called it.
Yeah, when I was there, Montreal was the summer I was there. Montreal was celebrating 375.
Oh, the anniversary.
I think 375.
I think so too. Pretty sure.
It was like 17 something when they founded like the fort that then became the city.
This looks great though. I like look at that.
Yeah, like all those candles in the background that are out of focus.
Yeah,
like,
it's
in soft
awesome.
Focus or like it's cool.
It's very cool.
I'm doing this by the book. What book do you think they're going by, huh? I took an oath.
I'm really enjoying the cinematography and the
Yes.
locations and
You wanna go
even the color. Like it's a little bit gimmicky, but
Yeah,
like I don't know, it's alright.
I legitimately enjoy this movie. Like I do. It's
I'm liking it more than I thought I would.
It's
to be
dumb. It's
honest.
over the top. It's very violent, but
It's not quite
It's-
as violent as I expected.
it's easy to watch and it's fun.
Desensitized by dirty laundry just before.
Beforehand, yeah, I think that helped.
Yeah.
It's kind of changed my scale.
They're a little like cartoonier than I expected. I thought this was gonna be really gritty and violent and dark, but it's not.
Well, I think that's what they set out to do, but
Like
They
this.
marketed this wrong. Like this should be in the trailer. Like if they put this scene in the trailer, he's in front of a blowing American flag, just so you guys know. Giant.
And like
Of the Punisher.
like the fucking America the Beautiful playing.
Because we don't act.
just like how they're walking, they got this
Yeah.
real like
Swagger.
real
Yeah.
like arm swinging
See, the
thing
thing
going
about
on.
this is like there's no American flag. There shouldn't. It's like a moment of like what do they call it?
So if you're sick of this,
It's like the president's speech in Independence
It's the,
Day,
like,
right?
We
It's
want you.
Yeah, like blue. Like this one's blue. That's
And then
red,
red.
and the green for the
Yeah,
Irish.
yeah.
yeah, look at it, eh?
the end of it.
Surreal. It's like a moment of surrealism in this movie,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's kind of weird because it's not been surreal at any point.
Yeah.
Aside from that. Oh my
It suddenly makes sense why Jigsaw has had very few goons around him this entire time as well, because they're like, no, we're just going to save our budget for the extras, like, right at the end, guys.
Yeah.
We'll just get, like, 100 guys. Punisher can make his way through all of them. It's going to be great.
I expected, though, to them to be, like, engaged in a gang war or something. Like, there hasn't been much war going on. It's just been, like, personal feuds with...
Like, you expected it to live up to the name Warzone?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe, if I remember the ending correctly, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
a Warzone.
It's building up to a tip.
Okay. All right.
It's a
the
promise.
Anticipation.
It's like there will be blood. It's a promise. There will be.
My milkshake, or what is it? My straws in your milkshake.
I drink your milk.
Eli.
Although you could argue that the blood is the oil of the movie.
That's true. That's a great movie.
Yeah, P.T. Anderson.
I think that's my favorite P.T. Anderson movie.
Just in time for happy hour.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously. I haven't watched his latest one, the one with Joaquin Phoenix, where it's like a 1970s.
Which one?
It came out like last year or something.
I don't know.
Right now.
Well, usually unless you've arrested Houdini.
Should I pick up Isle of Dogs? You really like that, eh?
I really enjoyed it.
Is it like a kid-friendly movie? Or no?
A little dark for kids, but like, I just feel like if you showed it to a kid, they wouldn't be like, ah.
Okay.
Because it is like, it's full of cute dogs and
Right.
stuff. But
It's
Is that
claymation.
the claymation as well?
Yeah.
It's like Fantastic Mr. Fox, but a little darker.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is great. All Wes Anderson
Basically,
movies
if
are
you would
great.
show a kid any Wes Anderson movie, you can show them.
They liked what's the with the Boy Scouts? That was really good.
Oh, Moonrise.
Moonrise Kingdom. I really like that one.
My son to prison for the rest of his life.
And how would you do that?
I'll tell him when and where to find him.
He's a great voice, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I don't like him. I want him taken care of.
No worries, my friend.
Getting the Russian mob in on it too.
No, they're
Well,
just
the
bots.
cops are getting the Russian mob in on it. So now everyone's gonna... Oh, look at them all.
Are they gonna fight in the hallway?
Yeah.
There should be more of a plot, like, Frank Castle should be intentionally pitting the gangs against each other through the whole movie, and, like, trying to get them to be the, like,
Obliterate
each other, right? Something, that's what I thought it was
That's
gonna
a cool
build
idea.
to.
So, watch season 2 of Daredevil and the Punisher series.
And that's what it is?
You'll get a little bit of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Because then he could be, like, spawn in, spawn out, not, you know, they don't know he's there. He shouldn't be, like, meeting them all person to person. But oh well.
The first half of season 2 of Daredevil is great. It's like the Netflix shows started doing a weird thing around that point where it was like, again, they should just
End it after, like, 8 episodes or 10, not
it's like the first
15.
half of Luke Cage was awesome, and then there's a thing that happens in the end of the first half of that season, and then they like try to rebuild it in the second half. And you're like, well, no, you should just ended it there. Like, what if that was just like the last shot of the season?
They could have even just released the back half as a volume 2 later on or something, right?
Yeah. Daredevil season 2 does the same thing. Like, all the stuff with the Punisher is great, and then they like sideline the Punisher and they go into like the
hand and stick
stuff
and Elektra.
Stick and Elektra. It's like it wasn't like if it had been there the entire time, but it's like it just feels.
That's where I started
bipolar.
losing it. I liked Stick though. He was really, really well done.
Makes the show seem like bipolar though, because it's like they're telling two different stories within the same season. Jessica Jones season 2 didn't do that. But it was
no,
also
it
still too
didn't.
long.
But it was very drawn out, which is what it's like a bit of this and a bit of that, right? Like what do we really want? And I think they're trying to find a balance. I read an interesting article that was saying that Netflix was kind of defending themselves and being like, hey, we don't actually tell people that they have to make this many episodes.
No, they don't.
Oh, really?
They choose to make this many episodes. So
See, that's I think the detriment of the CW shows is that they have to make 24 of them or 22 of them or
I
whatever.
think it's 22 now.
It's too many.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then, like, when you miss a season, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have, like, 15 hours to sit down and watch Arrow. I'd definitely sit down for 8 hours, right? And just give me the good stuff. Don't give me filler.
Like 2-hour chunks over
Yeah.
the course of a few days. Yeah, absolutely.
Then you can play catch up. But they're intimidating, and there's 4 of them going on simultaneously. Soon to be 5, and then
Well, that's why like with Netflix, like they are very hands off with their creative teams, and like the first season of Stranger Things had like 8 episodes, something like that.
8
and it
episodes.
was perfect.
I was like, yeah, that's exactly like it was 8 hours long. It's a really long movie.
Yeah, or like the Stephen King It miniseries, like it's just what it needed to be. That's really nicely shot too, eh?
Yeah, like the gunfire inside the windows.
Yeah.
So, just going back on your point with like the gangs fighting against each other, we did also kind of see that in the Thomas Jane Punisher as well. Like, he
Right.
very much broke that organization down from the inside out. And I know when I watched it with friends, I enjoyed the ride of that one. I know when I watched it with friends, they were very much on the line of like, what? This doesn't make sense. Why are we just seeing like a little bit of punishing here and then some punishing there? And
Didn't that movie though just come out? Like, was it right the same year or right after Swordfish?
It was 04, so
And so it was like the same character almost. They just brought, what was his name? Saint? Thomas Saint or something?
yeah.
oh yeah, about Travolta.
Yeah, Travolta.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't have been in the movie. Like, he's great, but he kind of overshadowed the Punisher.
Well, it's Travolta. I'm sure Cash Travolta not having me like, I need more screen time.
Right, and that's probably what
I mean,
kind of
even,
wrecked
like,
the movie.
Even like Grease, like the Grease Lightning song wasn't meant to be sung by Travolta's character. He was like,
Oh, really?
I don't want to do this movie unless I could sing that song.
I've seen, again, it's like through osmosis, all this stuff, but I've never sat through it.
Oh, you never watched all of Grease?
Honestly, don't watch it by yourself.
No, I wouldn't.
Don't watch it by yourself. It's better in a group of people.
Oh.
Especially if you have like a few people who like it and will sing along. This is very Raid Redemption, but not done as well.
Anyone else disappointed by the fact that they got the guys from the Raid to come into a Star Wars movie and then never gave them lightsabers or anything cool?
It's like a cameo for whatever reason.
Yeah.
For the sake of a cameo.
I was so confused when that scene happened, and then I was like, now we just have flubber monsters coming through? I was like, oh, okay.
That's what that was? Oh, you mean on Han Solo's weird space barge?
They're like the Conja Club guys. Tell out the Conja Club, and then they're behind them, and then they speak like the weird language. It's the guys
That
from
whole
the Raid.
thing made kind of no sense. That was like the low point of the movie for me, I think. I would have had Han Solo like go back and take over Jabba's palace and turn it into the hotel instead of Canto Bight. It should have been like, you know, Han's Cantina or something.
Hantina?
I think just any other choice.
Yeah, any other choice would have
Well,
been good.
not any other choice. Like, I think it had...
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder how he was like able to time that out so it exploded directly, like
In the middle?
equidistant from everybody
Yeah.
in that room.
I like how it's only at that point in time when when Jigsaw and his brother decide to be like, okay, now we should probably do something. Now we should intervene.
What is the character in the comics like? Like, he should have, for this to justify this movie, Jigsaw, I mean, that is in his brain, and it's like moving ever closer and making him like more insane and damaging his like pain receptors.
So,
Like a piece of glass is inside him or something. I don't know.
This will be in my pitch later on as well. But sneak preview. It's a little bit weird. They've kind of the Jigsaw character. I feel from what I've read in the comics, I feel like they've quite literally.
Whoa.
Oh, awesome!
Was he on the can? What was that?
It looked like he was sitting in an elevator.
Yeah.
But the Jigsaw character seems to, like, for this movie, it's like they've split him in two. They've got
his brother and him.
Whereas in the comics, it's very much they would be one person. Like,
So how cool would it be if, okay, spoiler for my pitch, what if the brother's not there? Like, it's a figment of his imagination? Like, Dexter style?
that would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Or Fight Club? And, like, there's a piece of glass that's, like, sliding more and more every time into his brain, and he's, like, gonna die soon, so he's, like, trying to do stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
And then it's like that James Bond villain who has
bullet
like
in his brain.
further
Exactly.
and he feels less and less pain.
Right, so he could just keep doing gross shit.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Like, it gives the villain, like, a ticking time clock.
Right, like
a
to
ticking
achieve
time
his
bomb
thing.
in his brain, so that he, like, I want to kill Punisher
Before I die. And I'm going to use every resource of the city to light it on fire to do it, right? Turn all the gangs against each other, do everything.
You shouldn't have bit Frank Castle. That was your mistake.
He should give him a swirly in the toilet or something.
That would be great.
Did you guys ever watch, what was it? Not The Saint. What the fuck was that called? The Frank Miller directed movie?
Oh, yeah.
With
no. That would be
The Spirit.
Spirit. You see,
That came out the same year as this.
As this?
Actually.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
watch that
man.
movie.
We should watch
I haven't
it.
seen it.
It's brutal. The movie opens. So, at least in
Sophie's
the
Choice.
Darwin Cook. Oh, yeah.
We're doing the Spider-Man on the bridge thing.
Cool. Again.
Pull down your gun.
Oh god, I'm getting flashbacks.
And then here he could be talking to no one, and he could be like, "Who are you talking to?" They're like, "Look at me."
Die, you bastard.
Way to punish the Punisher.
And then, like, jump cut to he's, like, tied to a chair watching Barney or Teletubbies. It's like, ah! Can he see he's wearing all that armor, though?
It's Punisher's gun that he's using though, so
Oh, so it's bullet
could be
armor piercing?
Piercing, maybe?
Ow.
Cat, let's play a game. What do you say? You got one round left in there. You shoot one of these two, or let the other one go free.
Why doesn't he just shoot
What
him?
do you say, Frank? Who's it to be? Your back friend right here? Or that nice little piece of jailbait over there? Burn in hell. Okay, then they both die.
Frank! She's a kid.
I like how
Fucking kill her first.
the laser sight makes a sound.
Yeah.
Lasers don't make a sound.
Really adds to the tension.
Too good for you, Fatso.
We all know what Frank's gonna do.
After 3, Cass. 1, 2,
Wait for it.
3.
Oh!
Oh.
Damn.
Wow, really, eh? That's what happens.
Yeah.
What is he, Superman?
With that.
Frank letting the innocent guys get shot for no reason? Sorry, modern Superman. I should specify.
He had
Henry
a
Cavill.
he
Yeah.
had a Sophie's choice. I mean,
But that was like the Shadow, right? Shoot through him.
Yeah.
Should have shot the rope, and then Julie Benz could have been like karate.
He also didn't say he had to shoot him in the head. He could have shot him in like the shoulder, right? Then he could be like let her in the foot, right?
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Oh wow.
Really,
Let me put you on my mission.
oh.
Ow. But then, oh, gross. But we could be cutting into his point of view and see what happened to me, you know, right?
Eyeball is burning.
Oh, yeah.
Ow.
Oh, jeez.
This would never be a movie I would ever choose to watch if it wasn't for this series that we do here.
That's the brilliant part of it.
Yeah. See what we do for you people?
I would have never even knew.
Check out our Patreon.
I would have never even known that the Return of Swamp Thing was a thing. And I definitely would have never marathoned all 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would never, will never, ever, ever again.
We were scrolling for movies the other day, and Spider-Man 3 is on Netflix
It
at the
is.
moment, and it was just like,
I know, I saw it. No!
Mickey, we talked about you. Argued about you. He said you were one of the good guys.
So I can't, like, put my finger exactly on, like, what is kind of missing from Ray Stevenson's performance. But, like, back to back with Thomas Jane, like, and I know it's very different styles and everything, right? But
I think
There's a humor in Thomas Jane's Punisher that comes through a little bit more. There's a swagger. Ray Stevenson's taking it too seriously.
there's a, like, that, I think it's The Burden, maybe? Like, I see it, because I see it in his eyes every now and then.
Maybe it's time to quit now.
He's playing this like, I think it's like a straight, like, he thinks this is Heat or something. But it's schlock. If he was playing schlockier.
If there are any left, we've got to at least consider rehabilitation.
And is he taken off? He's gone now, and now he's talking to himself, like Commissioner
Probably.
Gordon style?
That's what I'm saying is,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just personally not a fan of the death penalty. There you go. Hey. Give me a fucking wallet, motherfucker.
Oh, here we go.
Do I look like I'm fucking kidding? Frank, give me your wallet.
He just happens to be there. It's great.
Jesus saves.
Give me your wallet.
Oh,
Now I've got brain splattered all over me.
wow.
Why they chose to end it with that note, I have no idea.
That would have been a better way to introduce their relationship. If that had happened earlier on,
Yeah.
right? It's like, come on, Frank. And, like, Batman never comes back, right? After Gordon leaves. Or, you know, he leaves. Interesting. Wow.
It's Colin Salmon? Yeah, his character made mention of earlier before they went to the big warehouse to Dash's character about, like, we gotta go help your buddy, your partner, Frank Castle or something. And I thought that seemed a bit. It seemed like at the start in that first opening scene that Dash's character was the one that was gonna be like all gung ho about, we're gonna take this Punisher guy down.
Yeah, it did.
Very,
Now
very
he's the
much like,
partner.
yeah, and then it very much flipped. And that other that punched himself in the face, he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Like about.
Yeah, that's right. The kind of one that's not
'cause-
Hank.
Yeah, because Colin's character came in and was. I'm assuming he was like, I'm taking over this investigation. Or something like
More of that. There was never a scene either, right? Where they're getting crap from the boss or, like, some, like, kind of key moments that could have really elevated this. I actually liked it more than I thought I would like it. So there's that. It's nice and short, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see the potential for a great movie, but I guess it sounds like the show would be the thing. It's just not my my cup of tea.
Well, the problem, and it's not really a problem, but I think the thing that is difficult about the Punisher TV show is it's very heavy, and it's very much dealing with like themes like PTSD and how you deal with that, and like trying to live in a world that is no longer your own, and you know, like it delves into that kind of that soldier mentality a lot, which is really an interesting story point, and it's also a very realistic way of looking at the Punisher, or at Frank Castle, I should say, without this Punisher veneer that's kind of on top of him. So,
do they do any flashbacks to his like when he was in the military service and overseas and stuff?
Yeah, they do actually. Like,
okay, that's cool.
They explain a lot about because they go into the next layer of so. Spoilers if you haven't seen Daredevil Season 2 now. So, because Frank Castle's family all get killed, right? And so they, and we discover that it's the gangs that do it in Season 2, and then of Daredevil, and then in The Punisher, we deal with the conspiracy that is behind why those gangs did what they did.
Cool. Okay.
So, it's kind of like, you know, he's going up the ladder of, like, who is responsible for it. But that storyline is now done. So where they move on from here is what's going to be interesting. It's like, okay, so what is it that brings the Punisher back into the fold? Because this, the season 1 of that is very much about like him. It's like, this is the last mission, and I think it got mentioned in this.
Yeah, he said this was the last one.
Yeah.
I can't believe they killed Newman like that. That was kind of silly. Interesting choice. Yeah, that was Punisher Warzone, guys. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, that was some check. We got it.
All right. Do we have any other parting thoughts?
I don't know. I guess I've seen now all the Punisher movies.
No, there was a Vancouver in it.
Yeah, there you go. Some of those back alleys look Vancouver.
So yeah, we've seen Dolph Lundgren's. I think everyone's seen Thomas Jane's Punisher.
That was my first
this one
movie Punisher. Like I'd seen the Spider-Man cartoon arc where he comes in. Who's he hunting? Is it Morbius? Michael Morbius in that one?
No, that's Blade.
Oh, Blade is after Morbius.
Is hunting Morbius. The Punisher is actually hunting Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's got that weird. It's like kind of the
Rambo
he's
got a Rambo headband because he just reads the newspaper articles. He's like, this webhead, I gotta take him down. Combat log, war journal. Sorry.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. It was okay. I would have gone either way more comic booky, and like dialed up the schlock. I borderline like. Comedy at times. The villains really hammed it up, but he never did.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If
couple
it was a choice.
couple of very interesting tones throughout the movie, but
it was like, it kind of was like, sorry, Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
He felt like he was unaware of the movie he was in.
Right. That's exactly.
Whereas like, what's his face from The Wire was very much like, yeah, this movie, I've read the script, I understand this movie's not great.
Yeah. I get what's happening here. Yeah. I can.
He was the best part actually of the movie. I liked it.
He's great. Dominic West.
Great.
It's great.
Hear that Ray Stevenson had a lot of trouble on the set of Thor with embracing the character of Volstagg, and Kenneth Branagh said to him, bathe in the river of ham. Don't worry about it. You gotta just embrace it and really enjoy that, like...
So maybe if Thor had happened before this movie, he would have, like, gone there.
Well, I think it's also, like, Lexi Alexander, like, her background seems to be very much on, like, a fight side of things, maybe a little bit on a technical side with, like, studying camera and film and stuff like that, but she's probably... I think I can safely make this comment. She doesn't seem like she works too much with the actors, so to speak. Like, we got very varied performances.
Yeah, even from the same characters throughout.
Yeah, and so I think if you had someone that was maybe a little bit more focused on working with the actors and building those characters, then you might have had a very different sort of like through line given for the Punisher, and maybe a bit more of a standard through line for like Jigsaw, because he was
the most through line though in this movie, right? Like none of the other characters. There's no point of view character. There's no like it's not focused from the kid's perspective.
That is what's kind of. I mean, amongst other things, that is what's missing. Is there is no.
Like it should either be Newman and it's finally his choice, or it should be the kid. Or it should be...
There's no audience surrogate.
Yeah,
nothing.
Doesn't
always have
you don't
to
need
be,
one, but for this movie...
We also don't follow the Punisher, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not really his movie, even though it is his movie. Like,
yeah.
He's gentle in it.
Yeah.
So, like, when you do that, then you need to give yourself, like, the one character that you're like, oh, this is the one that I latch on to.
Yeah.
Have we done a movie, like... Or is there one where the main driving force and the point of view character is the villain movie, and you're kind of rooting for him? Like...
Have we done one?
Yeah, or just I can't even think of one off the top of my head. Like
Avengers Infinity War is
okay. So Thanos is really the first that does that.
Thanos does that.
Is there another? I can't really think of any.
I mean, like aside from like Breaking Bad,
right? But that would be kind of interesting if like you're actually cheering for a character, you know, starts off maybe lower in the organization and rises up, like then takes on the persona of a supervillain, but is still not quite full evil. I don't know.
I think we've had some... there's definitely been some movies that focus more on, like, an anti-hero side of thing.
Isn't that
like
kind of like what the Punisher is, though?
Kind of.
Yeah. But, again, we didn't really see, like... He's not really the one that we're following throughout.
No, but he could be.
He could be,
He could
yeah,
be.
for sure.
If he was doing the journals and leaving, like, entries.
Interesting story.
Like, more like Rorschach. Right? If he was, like, dropping off his journals somewhere, or he was, like, dropping tapes and mailing them to the cop, or he, like, stalks one cop and picks him out. He's like, you'll be my guy.
Yeah.
That, I mean, as much shit as the Tom Jane one does get, and, like, it's not a perfect movie in any way. That is the thing that they did with that one, where it's like, you really do follow Frank.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, like, an undercover cop, and he loves his family, and then, like, you see him lose his family, and then see, like, essentially him become the Punisher by the end.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, like when he straps John Travolta to the back of the car and he blows him up or whatever, you're like, yeah, like, I think that's great. And you're kind of, like, on his side, even though he's doing terrible things. I think he's so brutal in this movie, and you don't ever really feel like he's anything more than just, like,
he's a plot device.
He's like, what's his face? Jason Voorhees.
Right.
In this movie, right? Like, he's just, like, he's brutal. A device to do a lot of crazy kills, essentially, rather than being like a character in his own movie.
Yeah, it's too bad. I don't know. I guess he's just not the most interesting character. Do we know much about the Punisher? Like, when did he get written? Was he like the 70s?
It was after the Comics Code thing
kind of was lessened a bit.
Yeah, like when Batman got darker, Punisher like kind of like rose up in that era. I feel early 70s.
And then like Jim Lee kind of gave him a resurgence in the Lethal Enforcer era of the 90s, right? Like yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine,
as late
Punisher.
As the 80s, but
I want to say he had a resurgence with like the Marvel Knights era as well, when they did like Elektra, all that kind of stuff as well.
Plus, probably the Longbow Hunters for Green Arrow is an influence on this. Was that Mike Grell? And it was like Robin Hood, but in a forest, which kind of worked. And it was a lot more of this gritty, down-to-earth Black Canary featured in it, and it was very boots on the ground. It felt like Daredevil a little bit.
I think Frank Castle can be an interesting character. I think the one thing I've always wanted to see is the more of the war journal kind of like stuff, like us seeing Frank talking to himself and sort of like him trying to hold on to some form of stability, and it's like this is the only thing that is keeping him going. Like he does this, and this is how he makes the world a better place, and until like he gets taken out in action, this is what he's gonna do, and he's happy with that. Because he's
on like one long suicide mission. It could take years.
He's chosen suicide by criminal, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And ironically, I think, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I feel like Dolph Lundgren's Punisher was probably the closest to that we've ever seen, where it's like he's just, because he's very much in that movie, he rolls in and he rolls out. And that's how it happens for him. That's just another day in paradise for the Punisher. He's not really like trying to like make sense of anything. It's like, I'm just a man, I have muscles, and I'm good with guns. And whereas everyone else, I feel like the Thomas Jane one, this one to a certain extent, even John Berthenol's as well, they try and really focus on like building relationships for him and trying to make him like a humanized character. And I'm like, that's fair enough, but sometimes I think you just need to have these guys as like just embrace what they are a little bit more. And
like the thing about that, like I've never really read Punisher comics, but like I know he's like in Civil War and stuff like that. So I've like
who isn't
read
he in
comics.
in the comics? He's some big. He took on. Is it War Machine's armor right now?
No, he's actually Frank Castle right now. Really cool. He is the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
So
that's pretty cool.
He is the Ghost Rider at the moment, and it's awesome because he's crazy. He's got all this weird banter that he does now because he's much more at one with the Spirit of Vengeance than a couple of the others before. Before that, he was the War Machine armor.
Oh, he was, okay.
And he did have that. And then earlier on as well, after Dark Reign, I think he got caught by the Sentry and like torn apart, and then he got remade as Frankencastle.
So, like
a Frankenstein. Yeah, it's they've done a lot of like weird and wonderful things. I like, from what I've read, I like the Cosmic Ghost Rider that they're going with, because he just has all these weird and wonderful guns that he can like make appear from the depths of hell. But he takes on Thanos at one point in time, and then he becomes Thanos' like right hand, and
oh wow,
they're traveling the galaxy just having random shenanigans.
That's cool.
But yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Wow.
So Punisher Warzone, rockin'.
There you go.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gents. We are going to do a bit more of a concise breakdown of our thoughts in our video log, so feel free to check it out.
The pitch. I think there's a lot of potential for this movie. So.
Yeah. Rate, review, subscribe, check out more of our content.
And maybe take a flip back and check out our Dolph Lundgren Punisher back issues.
Yeah.
That's worth a watch, definitely.
It is our second episode, so just bear with us. There's some teething.
Put a self-filter on it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just have it in the background while you're doing some other stuff.
Do your dishes, do your
listen
laundry.
to it and don't do anything else.
Take notes. There will be a
Sit in
quiz.
Okay.
Dark room in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Absorb it all.
All that knowledge coming on at you. Well, thank you for joining us,
Cool. Thanks.
everybody, and stay tuned. This is the Back Issue Squad.
Hey.
Tim, Isaiah, Mel, Bray, and guest starring Lawrence.
Hey, thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.